BVB Army? Welcome back to another episode on our channel, BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. My name is Ruth.
And I'm Nicole.
And down below, we have a lot of fans here with us for this special episode. We have some familiar faces and we have some brand new faces, which Nicole and I are very excited to see brand new faces on our show and everything. So again, thank you guys for coming on and signing up.
I'm Catha. I am 24 years old and I have been a fan for, I'm really bad at math, and I said that recently. 2015 till now is...
We'll take it. Hey, I'm bad at math too. We'll take that.
Okay, good. It's been long.
Long time.
Yes.
I'm Ashleigh. I'm 34 and I've been a fan since the very beginning. I've been following them forever.
OG.
So.
Nice. OG. Awesome.
All right. I'm Kylie. I am 18. I've been a fan also since 2015, so about 7 years. So I was 11 when I discovered them. I was rather young. So,
well, first and foremost, howdy, y'all. How you doing?
Howdy.
My name is Ian. I've been a fan of Blackville Brides for, Lord have mercy, I can't do math either. Math is a dick. I'd say 9, or hold on, 6 plus 3 is 9. I was 14. Yeah, 9 years.
Hi, I'm Dirk. I'm 20 years old and I've been a fan since 2014, so about 8 years, I think.
I'm Hannah. I'm 22 and I've been a fan since I was 12.
Well, we are so happy to have you guys here, and Nicole and I are very excited that we get to talk to you guys and hear your thoughts and opinions of Blackville Brides' new EP coming up on the 21st, which is a Friday, which is coming up very soon here, guys. But before we dive into the questions that we have sent you, I do want to take a moment of time real quick. For anyone who's watching or listening to this episode, if you have followed Andy on his Twitter or Instagram, he sadly posted some news of a loss of a fur baby, Daredevil. I think it broke a lot of our hearts when we saw that Daredevil had passed away. And it's now off to the Rainbow Bridge, waiting for him now. So I just would like to take a little moment of silence for the one and only Daredevil. So if that's okay with you guys. I do know that Daredevil's at the Rainbow Bridge, and for anyone who has a fur baby or has lost a fur baby, it's heartbreaking to lose a fur baby because they become our family, and I miss my baby girl every single day. So Andy, Lilith, the Beer Sack family, we are sending you nothing but love and everything. And I know that Daredevil is with you guys at all times. So we love you, Daredevil.
You know, animals are so precious. We don't deserve them.
No, we don't. They are a very good judge of character, too. I guess let's get down to it, Nicole, with the amazing Blackville Brides new EP, The Mourning, coming up on October 21st, which is a Friday coming up here.
I know. I'm so thrilled. Is anyone even ready for this EP to come out?
No.
Dude, I'm going to go crazy when that EP comes out. When I heard... I'm like 90% sure it's the revival, but that one guitar, the first one that they posted was, oh my God, dude, it made me want to like go kick open a door and start headbanging or something.
I'm just gonna start a mosh pit with myself or something. I don't care.
Honestly.
Just run into different walls. It's fine.
Virtual mosh pit.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So our very first question for you guys is, what are your initial thoughts with this EP? And this can be like, as far as like conspiracy theories you may have, or really any kind of ideas, because for me personally, something that I was explaining to Ruth is I really feel like this EP is going to take us back to the Set the World on Fire era, mostly because obviously there are two saviors now, and the original savior coming from the Set the World on Fire album. And then we also have a song on there called Better Angels, which Me personally, I feel like that is somehow might relate to Fallen Angels. So I'm honestly stoked to hear what you guys have to say. Ruth, do you have any initial thoughts on the CP album?
Well, I know there's 4 songs. We all know that one of them is Savior 2. So we all know what that sounds like. I know BVB has released a teaser of Devil, which when I first heard Devil, definitely Set the World on Fire vibes and Coffin vibes too. So I'm just like, are they going back to that era just a little bit, like kind of revamp it though in a way? So those are my first initial thoughts. A lot of fans here ready to tell.
So first off, I was really excited when I saw the track list for this because I was on one of CC's live streams and he actually talked about Devil before the track list was released. And he said that he thinks it's the best Andy's done vocally. So I'm really excited for that. And then in terms of like how it connects to like everything, even though it's not spelled the same way, just phonetically, like the night and then the morning. Like I know it's not the exact same morning, it's a different word, but I immediately made that connection. And then also someone on Twitter pointed out that it also shares a name with like the mourner, and that maybe it has some sort of connection to Wretched in that way with everyone's names and everything. I'm just overall really excited for it.
I actually made notes.
Okay.
Because I keep forgetting what I wanted to say. So, I also think it's kind of a throwback thing because they're using their old font again. And I'm so excited about that. And I think that it might be maybe a tiny bit of a concept thing, but a more personal level because, yeah, I don't know. It just, the track list just kind of fits together really well, I think. And so I think it's like a mini concept thing, but very personal, and it has a very dark vibe, and I'm here for it.
I was actually I was talking to Lonnie on our monthly Zoom chat about it coming up and how excited he was about it, and I feel that it is kind of maybe going to reinvent the older stuff and like when they first started, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it.
I'll tell you what, I think it's gonna tie into the Phantom Tomorrow Part 2 somehow. I don't know how, but I think it is. Because when I saw the revival, it makes me think, if I recall, I think Blackbird like essentially loses. Like at the end of Avengers Infinity War, right? So I think the revival might be like getting him back and like resurrecting him, and then because Andy kind of broke it down song by song when the Phantom Tomorrow came out last year in a YouTube video, and that's where I think it's going. But I did see that the logo is it's going back to its roots really, and I think that's pretty sick. And oh my god, the guitar work, it's fantastic. For have you guys heard Pulverizer?
Yes.
By Black
Oh
Veil?
god, I love that.
Yeah.
It made me think of Pulverizer. It was awesome, superb.
Yes.
And I feel like it is going back to the Set the World on Fire, and I also think it's going to have a little bit of the coffin vibe to it as well. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I just like, okay, it's just funny because we all know from just looking at all the hints they're throwing at us, the old font of their name, the old logo. So we definitely I think we have a consensus of like Set the World, Coffin vibe eras, going back to that era. And I'm actually kind of curious, like if you guys have conspiracy theories, like I know Ian, you kind of mentioned like how it might be a connection to the Phantom Tomorrow Part 2, or is it a completely different universe, nothing to do with the Phantom Tomorrow, or maybe it's all connection to Wretched Divine, because I know there's a lot of fans out there who are comparing the Phantom Tomorrow connections with the Wretched Divine era, and I'm just like, I can't keep up with it anymore.
Me neither. It's all exciting though. I'm here for it.
I want to say a part of me with this new EP coming of the morning, I'm like, I want to say it's separate from the Phantom Tomorrow. I definitely see it more in connections of Wretched and Divine and Coffin. Now, maybe the Night era just a little bit, but I feel like it's its own thing. It's separating from the Phantom Tomorrow.
I think Jake even said that
Oh, did he? Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion when it comes to it.
The Wretched and Divine theory is actually kind of interesting because I like how you said, how they have the mourner in there. I actually heard another theory, wasn't exactly taken with Wretched and Divine, but was taken with Set the World on Fire, specifically in Fallen Angels when it said follow the morning star. So now I'm just like, oh man, is it Set the World on Fire or Wretched and Divine? Like this is... I didn't think about that. So that was a good one, Dirk.
The Mourning of the new EP. Isn't Jake's Wretched and Divine name or title The Mourner or something?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Jake, give it to us, Jake. Give us all the hints. There's got to be a connection here. All right. So our second question is, do you think with this new EP that there will an album would stem from this new EP though? Like there will like BVB will create an album based on this new EP or maybe this whole new era or crossover era in a way? Because I know in the past with their other EPs, they try to do it in a way, kind of like with the same tones and vibes and rhythms when it comes to other songs and different albums. But I personally, this is just me, BVB. Again, no hate, BVB. Hi, Chris. No hate, Chris. Just like, I kind of want this EP to be on its own. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love an album with it, but I just kind of want this EP by itself, have its moments, have its own time and things. So that's just me though.
It's kind of what made the night as cool as it was because it was its own thing. It didn't have anything to do with the Phantom Tomorrow or anything. It was just, first of all, the night, the cover was, wow, spooky. I love it. It looks like they're about to go maybe solve a mystery.
It's a horror game, actually.
And
I love you, Ian. Yes, back onto topic here, you guys. Back with if anyone is kind of hoping for an album to stem from this EP. I'm actually surprised, Ruth, that you don't. I totally understand your reasoning, but I can't lie. I really feel that I want an album to stem from this, especially if it's in any way, shape, or form like a throwback to Set the World on Fire, because that is such an iconic album. Just rhythmically and lyrically and just the way that the tempos, the sounds, everything was so perfect. And I'm really like hoping that we could get an album. But at the same time, I am on the same boat as you. Like I almost like you want an album to come from it, but at the same time you don't, because it's perfect as is. I
hope that there's an album that stems with it. I like kind of the dark vibe that's coming from it. The definitely Set the World on Fire vibes. I want to see more of this dark content like they did a long time ago. And I get that the Phantom Tomorrow was kind of dark, but this is like, it's the Mourning. It seems like they're mourning something, and I want to see more from that.
I'm kind of like torn between like I want to see an album come out, but I also want to see it be a standalone. Because I really enjoyed the last one they did when it was just by itself without an album. So I'm kind of open to see how it goes.
I don't know if I want an album to directly stem from it, but I would like it to be like a bridge in terms of sound, because it definitely is a really big throwback. And I don't know if I'd want the same thing, but if it's like bridging to like something that's like a bit older or like a new chapter, I think that'd be nice, where it doesn't directly stem from it, but it's kind of like leading you along away from the Phantom Tomorrow to something else, if that makes sense. So I think it'd be cool if it was like a bridge, like sonically, between the Phantom Tomorrow and whatever comes next.
I would like an album because I feel like some of their album like covers actually starting to link in with each other. So if you look at some of them link in. So I'm hoping for like a throwback album. So say like a redo of Set the World on Fire or Fallen Angels, stuff, something like that, because I feel like some of them link in, so it'd be nice to have redos of them sort of things to link all them in together.
Yeah, I like that too. And I was also thinking about that a lot of their album covers have like a like a big shadowy figure like in the middle of it, like for example Wretched and Divine, and also the Mourning now, and I kind of like the connection with that. But I also like the crossover idea between Set the World on Fire and like newer era BVB. And it also kind of reminded me of the self-titled album, also from the sound. Like it sounds a bit more heavy. I don't know if it makes sense, but it sounds colder than some of their other guitar work, and I really like it.
that word, colder.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's just
yeah.
like
See,
a little frosty vibe, and I really like it. So I'd love an album too, but I'm enjoying whatever I get.
Well, my thing is, like, I know we mentioned like how just looking at the cover album for this new EP and like talking about Set the World on Fire and a little bit of Coffin and the self-titled album 4. When we say darkness or dark, I'm actually curious what you guys mean by that. Are you talking like, because when I hear darkness or dark, my mind went to like, oh, Halloween, and but like that's more like Eyes Nine Kill stuff, kind of horror thing they're doing. But so I think for me, when I think of darkness, when it comes to BVB, like it's more heavy metal, and the way their guitar riffs are more heavier. They'll evoke maybe even more screams that we'll get from Andy in itself, which I miss dearly.
Me too.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I miss Andy's harsh vocals so much.
And he sounds so good now. So I just want to hear it recorded.
Okay, so the next question is, what was your guys' reactions from their first single, Savior 2, all of that, and then the teaser we've been getting on social media for Devil? Because for Savior 2, cry session for me, bawling my eyes out. Devil, hello, Black Flow Brides. Where has this been? Nicole, what about you?
Savior 2 is absolutely beautiful. Hearing Savior 2, I'm in the same boat as you. I was in tears. It's something that we don't get to hear from Black Veil Brides often. I feel like this was like a whole turning point for them. And with Devil, the very first teaser that was released, I just heard Coffin immediately. I was just like thrown back, like, whoa. It's like, but I was telling Ruth, it's like more advanced version of Coffin, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, for Savior 2, Savior 1 is a song that guards my heart in a way that is nothing will ever come close. When I was 17 years old, I was a senior in high school. My grandmother on my mother's side was a very important figure in my life, and she was dying. She lived to be 87 years old, and she, much like Andy, is a person I look up to and strive to be like. She passed away. We had a funeral. A preacher, pastor, I can't recall which it was. He was conducting the whole thing, and then he asked everybody, he said, would anyone like to say anything? And then I kind of took the stage, and I was like, I can't help but think of this song. I just want to play the very beginning, and I'm going to say what I need to say after that. I played Savior. I played the opening guitar solo, and then I kind of gave a speech, and that was the end of it. In regards to Savior 2, around the time that this song came out, more recently, I kind of had to move out of my mom and dad's house. I love my father. He's an excellent man. He's helped me a lot, but he and I, more often than not, have butted heads. And as a result, I felt like I could not live in the house anymore. You know, our relationship has gotten way better now. So when Andy says in the song, I'm trying my hardest to be what you made, I can't help but think of myself that my father and my mother have always pushed me to work, go to school, and just try and get a solid career in this life without ever considering maybe what it was that I wanted to do. I try and live every day thinking that I'm doing something with my life. So for Savior 2, I get it. I understand it all.
And your thoughts on Devil then?
I can't wait to hear it. It sounds kick-ass.
Savior 2, that song came out not long after the Denver shows, Red Rocks and the show at downtown Denver. And that the night of the show in downtown Denver, as BVB was playing, I sprained my ankle and I had to leave the show. I missed pretty much the entire show. My heart was absolutely broken. We drove 18 hours just to be there. And
You're the guy. Sorry, the pieces have connected. I'm sorry. My moan over here pieces have been connected here.
Yeah. When I saw her name, I was like, I recognize that name. And I had to go onto Instagram and I was like, knew it was Elle.
I was just like, I don't know who this girl. Oh. Pieces.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good.
My pieces just got connected here. Hi, nice to meet you. Okay.
Nice to meet you. When Savior 2 came out, it was like I felt like everything was okay. Like it was so heartbreaking to miss them. And just to hear Savior 2, I felt a warmth in my heart again. I felt like I'm gonna have another chance. It's not the end of the world. I'm trying, and I'll see them again one day. And that they will always be there. Andy will always be there. They will always all be there. And nothing's really gonna change that. As for Devil, I was shocked. My jaw dropped. I was like, this is, it sounds like old Black Gold Brides. It's like Ian said, kick ass. Like, I think it's going to be amazing. Like, and Cece saying, his vocals are some of the best on there. I cannot wait for it, honestly.
I hope down in the future when BVB comes to Red Rocks, you and Nicole will see them in Red Rocks and I'll be able to go there too. So sometime in the future.
Yes, everyone needs to attend a Red Rocks show, at least one.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I'll try. I also, I usually don't really cry when I listen to music, and I almost cried listening to it, so it's already it got me there. But I had my stuffed IKEA shark with me, so things were good. But I the lyric, "I'm more than all of my scars," just sent me, and I was like, fuck. Those are real emotions right there. And I also kind of got reminded that, I don't know, BVB also came around for me in a time where I felt very alone. I had an abusive relationship at the time, and it was very emotionally very draining. And I don't know, their music was just there, and I could listen to it in the bus driving to school and being my angsty emo self. And I was like, this is beautiful. And I remember that I was on vacation with my parents in Sicily, and that was the first time I really listened to BVB. And a friend of mine sent me over WhatsApp all of the songs, all of their songs, and I was listening to all of them on loop. And Savior 2 kind of reminded me of that time, and it just made me feel so emotional, but in such a good way, that I'm just so thankful for them and what they do. And Devil I love that. It sounds so fucking amazing. And it is it sounded like a mix of several songs for me, and I like that. Faithless, I kind of hear in there, and a bit of Crimson Skies, and also Coffin. It's really interesting, and I really can't wait to hear it all. I'm so excited.
I don't actually get to see them as often as I would like to because of me being in the UK, so it's harder for me. So each song is always special to me. So This song, there's one lyric in there. It's the "and every word that came from you has carried me," and that lyric has always stuck by me because Andy was there for me and carried me through a hard time when I didn't have anyone else. I was on my own, and like each song just always is special to me. So every song they bring out is always something special because I don't get to see them as often, and I would like to. And with Devil, like everyone said, I think it's going to be kick-ass, and I feel like it's got a bit of Coffin in it and Set the World on Fire, and I heard a little bit of Fallen Angels as well, a little bit of that vibe. So I'm looking forward to it.
I absolutely loved Savior 2. I cried the entire song multiple times. And now it's on my YouTube playlist every single day, so I get to listen to it every day. It really just made me feel so good inside, and it just reminded me of how I fell in love with them to begin with their music. And with Devil, I'm just, I kind of got the Coffin vibes and like the old school music, and I'm super excited to hear what that one's gonna sound like completely. I can't wait.
For Savior 2, something that I also noticed was just, I know that it's because they're named like Savior and Savior 2, but also just the growth as like a band, especially like lyrically, and how much they've matured since the first Savior had been released was also just very emotional. I love whenever Jinx gets to play a lot of violin, and him getting to conduct in the video was also very nice. I absolutely love his violin playing. He's very talented. And then also, it was definitely a very emotional song, but I feel like it also just hit home as someone who people pleases a lot, where like you're trying to be that for someone else, and like you don't want to let them down or anything, but at the same time it does have an effect on you as well. Like you're still trying because you want to be there for them, but sometimes they also need to be there for themselves, if that makes sense. And then for Devil, I was also just really excited because since it feels like it kind of connects back to older BVB, I also am happy that Lonnie gets to be a part of that since he's much newer. So getting to really be a part of something that's much heavier, that sounds much more like the older BVB, because he's played the songs because they play them at concerts, but to be a part of like newer music that's so reminiscent of the older thing, it feels like it's really helping him connect like as a whole, not just, oh, he's just part of the band now. He gets to do some of the older, heavier stuff as well, not just playing songs from when he wasn't in the band or anything. So I think that that's also something I'm really excited about.
Well, thank you guys for opening up about Savior 2. I know that song and certain lyrics and just everything about that song definitely hit home with us and gave us that warm and comfort feeling and cry session as an adult, which happens.
Yep.
But thank you guys for sharing your thoughts and impressions of Savior 2, and of course the new kick-ass song of Devil.
I'm just gonna point this out too, like, because they already, they redid We Stitch These Wounds. Like, I'm not hating if they at all want to redo Set the World on Fire through Veil with Lonnie, because hearing Lonnie on that bass, you guys, tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, right?
You're not wrong.
With Lonnie and just
That man has 10 times the passion and groove. He is a very groovy guy. Bruno, we don't talk about Bruno, but Lonnie is 10 times the man Bruno will ever be.
Very last question that we have for you all. With this EP coming out, we're kind of wondering, what are you guys hoping for? Are you guys wanting to hear like more slowed down melodies from Black Veil Brides? Or are you guys kind of wanting to hear more upbeat, like screamo, powerful songs? I personally, for anyone, I'm sure you all are familiar with the very first Savior from Set the World on Fire. It's very well written. It's well done. If you guys notice, it's very slow, but it stays slow all the way till the end. And he has these powerful screams that come out. That's something that I personally am looking forward towards. I'm really hoping that maybe not for like the entire EP, but I would like to hear another song from Black Veil Brides where they have a mixture of screaming with the slow tempo, because I think that it is just beyond beautiful. And I think we all would love to hear more screaming from Andy, of course, because his screams have gotten so crazy intense. If you've been listening to him live, oh my gosh.
It's all real. It's all him. It's all
starstruck.
No laptops. It's all him. So
Yeah.
I would love a combination of like what the first Savior, how it starts slow and then it gets to those screams at the end, because I wasn't expecting that with the first time I heard Savior. I was like, oh, it's a nice slow song. All of a sudden, screams. I'm like, hello. But for this EP, because we know that Savior 2 is kind of slow, and then Devil, just hearing the teaser, is like, yeah, rock on and stuff, heavy and everything. And I kind of want a combination of both. I do want a combination of both slow and heavy at the same time. So
that's exactly what I'm wanting.
I'm looking for more slow ones and fast ones, so like a mixture of the both too, because it is nice to hear Andy scream, because we haven't heard it. Like, he's really good. And to be honest, I liked both Saviors, but there's little bits in the old one that they've kind of bringing into new songs as well. So they're bringing them, like the hard beat and the slow beat, into like mixing them up, and I feel like that's good for the new era.
So I am also hoping for a little bit of both. I have really enjoyed hearing the progression of Andy's vocals throughout the entire career that he's had, and he's just gotten better and better. And I want to hear more of that, the screaming and just how well his vocals can be, because they're beautiful. And I would love to see a little bit of both. Yeah.
I agree with all that has been said. And I'm also really hoping, but I know it's BVB, so I'm hoping for a lot of epicness, but I think I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm down for really heavy stuff. I'm down for really epic stuff. And I'm also excited to hear Andy's range and a lot of good guitar solos. Like, I'm all about guitar solos. I just want that shit.
I'd say that, like everyone else has said, I'd like probably a mixture. I'd also like, I don't know how to describe it, like mixed tempo, where it kind of mixes like both, because there is a way to do it, like instead of just keeping a more stagnant tempo throughout the whole song. Honestly, I'm fine with whatever. And I know this is like just like a little thing, but I'd also love to hear more like backing vocals from like the rest of the guys, because I love the way their voices sound. And that's something that I like really, really want. Like, Andy is super talented and he's the lead singer for a reason, but like I'd also like to hear the others a little more, like just as much as they're comfortable with. I don't want to like make them feel like they have to, but I'd like to hear some of like, their backing vocals as well on like this EP or just in the future in general.
Like, Lonnie sounds so good when he sings.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he put something on Instagram and it was
yes.
Good voice.
Yeah,
good voice.
Good.
I really, like everyone else has said, I really want a mixture of both. I really hope that there is, but part of me is like, I really want slower, and I want to say more meaningful, but I know slower and faster tempos are both pretty meaningful, but the slower ones just hit a lot harder. But at the same time, I want faster tempos. I want more, so more songs to mosh to, and just, I don't know. I just want both, but either is fine. I'm totally fine with either, but both would be amazing.
This is the unique thing about Black Veil Brides, in my opinion. This is why I really enjoy listening to them. It's because you can take heavy metal and classic rock, and when you put those two together, you get Black Veil Brides. There are some songs that are heavy and there are some that aren't. Hearing songs from Black Veil Brides like Stolen Omen is a prime example. I think that is by far their heaviest song they've ever done, because it's got all of the harsh vocals you could ask for in there. But dude, I used to have a buddy named Zach, and his brother saw Black Veil Brides, and he's up there watching them, and he's like, these are going to be the guys that bring back guitar solos. And I'm like, yeah, damn right. There's a video that came out for the Trinity of Terror Tour Part 2, in where there were a handful of us, myself, Ruth, Nicole were among them. And we got together in Cincinnati for the show. I have learned so much about Black Veil Brides through Ruth, Nicole, Chris Biersack, Andy's dad. Shout out to Chris Biersack, by the way. Hope you're well. And I got to tell you, it sucks that this band, Black Veil Brides, has been given all of the negativity that they have. And there was this commentary for Wretched and Divine where Andy was like, yeah, I had managers literally in my face screaming at me that I could not do this. And but the bottom line is, you know, you have a good mixture of Blackbird's a really prime example. Whenever I hear Blackbird come on, I close my eyes, I take in a deep breath, and I know it's gonna be all right. And then if you want to like just bang your head and start like, I don't know, kicking trash cans over, right? Listen to The Legacy, listen to Stolen Omen or Fallen Angels or something. You know, there's a lot of diversity in there.
I wanted to say one last thing because Ian said like the BVB is just the mixture of like classic rock and more heavy things, and it reminded me that I don't know if you guys know the band Nightwish.
Oh, yes, I do.
They do like a lot of classical music, like really, and also like kind of northern style music, like folk music, but mixed with metal. And holy shit, they're amazing. And I would love to, like, I don't know, they fit well with BVB kind of. And I would love to have like more classical metal elements in their music too. That I would love like either a Nightwish and BVB collab or like them to go also in that direction, just classical metal, more of that. And I just love that.
I can definitely say that everyone here is definitely ready for the new EP and all the limited edition merch they've been hinting at that's going to come out for this EP too.
I'll save up for the shipping to Europe.
Yes, shipping internationally for everyone in Europe and the UK. So
Yeah.
We're ready, but we're not ready.
It's gonna all happen on Friday. I mean, if they're
My
gonna,
bank account isn't ready.
if they're gonna do a midnight release, I think they might do that because I think Jake said he might be streaming for it, so on his Twitter. So
He will be. I know he always does every time.
So I'm like, okay, Jake, so this means 9 p.m. my time. Cool. We are ready. All of us are ready. I'm pretty sure everyone in the BVB Army is ready for the new EP to be dropping off here soon to hear all the amazing 4 songs we're getting and all the new merch and maybe a new music video.
And a European tour, please.
Oh, yes. They need to go and travel to your area, Catha, and I hope they do very soon. Also for you, Hannah, in the UK. So does anyone have any last thoughts before we wrap it up over here for this new EP? Anything? Are we all good?
I just hope my bank account will be ready.
Yes.
I'm gonna take up a loan.
Reality, truth, facts. Okay, thank you, Catha. Yes, that is true though.
100%. I actually have something I would like to say though. My name is Ian Troy Eldridge. My co-host Victoria Paris, who is actually my supervisor. We have a podcast called Radio Act. Please check it out.
For all the fans who are going to the Trinity of Terror Leg 3 at the Halloween show in El Paso.
I'm jealous, but have fun.
Yes, you guys are so lucky.
Have fun for me. Represent El Paso, Texas. Good for me. Please. It breaks my soul.
Right there with you.
Yep.
We are all excited for the new EP coming out here very soon this Friday. And again, the Army's ready. We are all ready to listen to it and stream the fuck out of it for sure. Break our bank accounts with all the cool merch that's going to come out here soon and just everything with this new EP. And I really hope it's just going to be an amazing time for all of us, for the BVB Army, to listen to this new EP for sure. So
I'll take up a loan at the bank for this. So just go ahead and release everything.
yes. BVB, take my money.
Yeah. I don't even need to eat. Who needs to drink? I can live of life, love, and laughter, and it's fine.
But seriously, guys, we want to thank you guys for coming on and sharing your thoughts and opinions here about the brand new EP coming out here. And I'm pretty sure we are all excited to listen to it this coming up Friday and probably discuss everything when we hear all the new songs and everything, what else they're going to throw at us. I almost feel like BVB is going to throw something else with this on the day. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's BVB. They do everything.
They always
Absolutely.
do, don't they?
Like when they released The Night and I saw 2 new songs and I was like, what the fuck? And with 2 new songs came 2 new music videos. And I was
Who
like,
knows?
what
They
the-
could have the whole EP drop and another music video come on. We're like, okay. Yes, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. So again, thank you guys so much for coming on. We do appreciate it. Thank you for dealing with all our technology issues with this. We just lost Hannah. Oh, there she is. Again, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for dealing with all the technology issues we had during this episode. We appreciate it. I hope whoever is listening to it, you guys are okay with it, with all the technology and transitionings and stuff. But we appreciate it. BVB Army, all of their social media links will be down in the description. So if you do want to give them a follow on their social media platforms, all of their links will be in the description below. So please go give these amazing fans a follow on their Instagram or Twitter or TikTok.
Like Ruth said, all links are going to be in the description down below. Once again, we are officially on all streaming platforms. You can check us out literally anywhere, and that also includes YouTube. So until next time, have a great day, BVB Army.
We'll see you soon, EP!